Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today you join me as I go to collect a Skoda Yeti that I've just bought for £2,200. I really like the Yeti. I think it's a pity they stopped making it. I genuinely think that was a mistake on Skoda's part. There was nothing quite like it on the market, and now it's gone. It's gone. I bought this from a car trader friend of mine, and I'm told the bodywork is a bit poor, but it's quite a high spec. I'm pretty sure, I take that many phone calls, I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure he said it was a 2-litre diesel, which isn't a bad engine. I'll need to get a cam belt and water pump done if it hasn't been done already. Oh, and I think it's done quite a lot of miles. I think it's done 140,000 miles. But still, they're very popular cars, these, and at £2,200, I'm pretty sure it's a £4,000 car, all done. So if I could keep my spend to around £800, it'll owe me £3,000, and hopefully there's £1,000 profit in it. That's what I'm praying for. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? See how bad it is. Well, he wasn't lying about the bodywork, was he? Look at the state of that front wing. In fairness, the rest of it looks okay. It's missing its towing eye cover, which always worries me. It might have just fallen off, but more often than not, it's because it's had to be towed somewhere. Which isn't the sort of car you want to be buying, is it? It's crying out for some new reg plates. They're all rusty, or rather the screws are rusty. The tyres look a bit old. It's very dirty. It's black. Oh, it's got Zen. Oh, it is a good spec, this. That offside rear tyre looks like it wants some air as well. Yeah, that wing is a bit of a mess. Something's rammed that. It is a good spec though, this. It's got xenon lights because you can see the headlamp washers in the bumper. Is there any life left in this? I do like the Yeti, so I'm going to try and stay positive and optimistic. Let me do a quick vehicle history check then. So as always, I'm going to go to carvertical.com. All you need to do is type the vehicle reg in, which is November X-ray 13, so it's from the northeast of England. Kilo X-ray Juliet, check vehicle. This is currently checking millions of cars in dozens of countries. It's the most thorough vehicle check I've found. This will tell us whether it's been involved in a recorded accident, whether it's got outstanding finance on it, whether it's had a mileage rollback. And it's really important that you do one of these checks before you buy a used car. If you want to do one of these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash, it also helps support the channel. Click the link below in the video description and use the promo code HIGHPEAK and you'll get 10% off every vehicle check that you do. It's not expensive and it can save you buying a complete lemon. Right, and just like that, the report is ready. So that is a Skoda Yeti. The mileage is fine, it's never been rolled back, it's never been stolen, never been involved in any accidents, and there's no outstanding finance. So we're safe. It was registered in the UK in March 2013. It had its first change of owner in January 14. I suspect that could have been a demonstrator perhaps if it's high spec. It was inspected. This has got all the previous MOT history, and sometimes it tells us if it's been serviced as well. So the last MOT was in September last year, so it's got a good 6 or 7 months MOT remaining, and there are no advisory items. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting. It's never been used as a taxi, perfect, and the mileage, okay, it is a bit high. It had done 140,000 miles at its last MOT, before that 127, so yeah, it's been busy, this car. They've done about 15,000 miles a year in it. That should mean no DPF issues. The approximate market valuation of this car when the seller's a company is $52.50. Bear in mind I paid $2.2 for this car. Let's not write this off so quickly. If I could spend £1,000 on that, it might be a 4995 car. I assumed off the top of my head that it was worth £4,000, but it could be worth £5,000. Okay, that is a Skoda Yeti 2013 2-litre diesel, 81 kilowatt power, front wheel drive manual. They did do a 4-wheel drive version, it's a pity it isn't one of those. It also tells us the common issues. So the 1.2 petrol is prone to high oil consumption. I've had that before. DSG transmissions is an issue, yeah, I know about that. Timing chain may snap on the TSI engines, yes. TDI engine suffers with EGR valve failures. Been there, got the t-shirt. Right, well that's all positive, isn't it? Let's go and have a look around it then, see how bad it is. I'll park in bay number 12, not 13. Not that I'm superstitious. Right, let's let the dog see the rabbit. The good thing straight away is that we've got both sets of keys. That rear side definitely needs some air, and it is an arrow speed. Look at that. In fairness, it's on about 5 mil of tread. But why do people put rubbish tyres on cars? That's crying out for some brake discs. Look at the state of those. The bodywork, there's a bit of a rust bubble there, and another one there. Typical VW, isn't it? It would come up much better with a good buff though. Full of little handprints here. Little dent there. Some more corrosion down here. I don't know, is someone going to give me £5 for that when it's all done? Not so sure. We've got a matching arrow speed on the front. Well, hey, look at that. That's on about 4mm of tread, and again, the brake discs are, well, shot, I think. As is the wing, look at that. It's broken the paint as well. That's had a right whack, hasn't it? Might be easy, you know, just to buy a new black wing. The headlamps are okay, they don't need buffing back. Like I say, it's missing its towing eye cover. Perhaps that's inside. New reg plates. There's some mole marks on the bonnet here. They will buff off though. We've got Bosch wiper blades. This car's given with one hand and taken with another, isn't it? We've got another arrow speed on the front. That coil spring looks a little bit corroded. It's covered in mud, so someone's lived on a dirt track. This is the kind of perfect car for somebody who lives on a dirt track, to be honest. A little bit of moisture in that indicator there. The bodywork on this side looks okay, actually. Oh, we've got a matching arrow speed, full house. That, weirdly, is right on its limit. It's unusual. Okay. Does want a good clean and buff, this car. Yeah, and the rear plate's in a bit of a state as well. And this is common with Skodas of this era, it's missing its Skoda badge. Should be a Skoda badge here, and they always drop off. It's from Lookers, so they're the original plates. It's got its original Lookers sticker in the window. It does look like quite an honest original car, this, doesn't it? One that someone's had and just ran into the ground, I guess. Which really, unless you're a car fan, is probably what most people do, isn't it? For most people, the car is just transport. And inside's as dirty as the outside. That'll all clean though. We've got nice leather seats. Are they heated? Oh, they're heated. Oh yes. Got a CD down here. What's this? Pink. I'm not dead. Very good. Look at those mats. It's like a shower mat, isn't it? Never seen those before. I don't like them. Okay then. Well, it is a good spec, this. We've got automatic xenons, heated mirrors, adjustable mirrors, front and rear electric windows, heated seats. It smells actually quite clean. I thought this was going to smell doggy or horsey, but it doesn't. Auxiliary input there. Got it all, hasn't it? Has it got any history? That's the big thing. We've got a smashed, broken lens there of some description. Little holder there for a pen, and a holder there for your parking ticket. They're clever, Skoda, aren't they? Service schedule. Come on, please have had a cam belt done. Save me some money. Let me have some profit out of this one. Por favor. Okay then, what year is this car? 13. Well, it had its first service then at 13,000 miles. That's all good. Lookers, Bury Road, Manchester. Same dealer there, did one at 22, but they've not ticked, they're useless, aren't they, main dealers? They've not ticked what they've done. Another one there at 33. Inspection service, and none of those. We're looking for toothed belt, that's what the VW group call it. Nope, okay. Right, this is where they lost interest, because they've no longer taken it back to Skoda. No toothed belt, no toothed belt. Ah! It had a it's going to be due again, isn't it? It had a toothed belt at 71,000 miles in 2018. It'll be due every 80, I guess. And of course it's done 140 odd, so it'll be due again. At least it's had one though, hey? Not completely neglected. It's got not bad history this, has it? Savile Motors, that's not Jimmy. Hang on, it's had another one here. Has it? Possibly. And then the last one was done in 2021 at 120. And I guess it hasn't had one since. Okay, right, well, possibly 2 cam belts here, so that is a bit of a stroke of luck. Pop that back then. That's how you break things, isn't it, guys? That's not broken, they're usually broken. We've got an auto-dimming rear mirror. No glasses. Headlining's a bit grubby. Got some dust then. Let's have a look around. Oh, we've got power folding mirrors as well. This would actually clean up okay, you know. You might all be watching this thinking, what have you bought? But I can see beyond the filth. Got a laundry basket here. We've got the parcel shelf. They're usually always missing. No spare, but we've got an inflation kit. There's the lock and wheel nut. This is quite an original car, this, you know. An old snotty rag there. A giant paper eagle. Look at that. Makes my hands look tiny. Some broken vents at the standard VW, that for you. They're good cars, these. Look at the headroom you get. And there we've got a pen. What else? And we've got a little cubby box there. Right then. Oh, let's have a look under the bonnet. Perhaps should have done that first. A few marks here, but I think they'll buff out. Where is the latch on one of these? There we go. Well, that's heavier than I thought. Okay, this is all very dirty, but can't see any obvious leaks. That battery's been replaced at some point because it's not the original one. Right. Let's fire her up. So it has done 144,000 miles. They've been listening to Chris Brown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have they got any CDs? Phone. No phone, okay. Well, we've got the pink one. I think this has got a multi-change, hasn't it? The Bolero. Has it or not? Bit of Oliver Murs there. Is this a Now album or is it an Ollie Murs album? Still none the wiser. No, that sounds like Ollie Murs. Right, no paired phone found. Hang on, where's my glow plug? There we go. Curly whirly go glow plug lights off. We've got plenty of fuel. It's looking to trying to connect to somebody's Galaxy. They're not Apple fans. And we've got no warning lights. Well, one to say I've got a bulb out. But that is it. Yolanda. Yolanda's A53. What's an A53, guys? Can you educate me? I guess it's some sort of Galaxy, is it? Android? Huawei? This then, has it got the nav, this or not? Go away, Ollie. No nav then, no nav, but there is an SD there for something. Seats on, perfect. Okay, well, I'm just checking the clutch then. That's something I should have done earlier. I was expecting it to be rattling, have a rattling flywheel, but that feels lovely. Okay, right, let's take this for a quick spin, see what it's like. Okay then, buckle up. This is actually, do I say it? Do I dare say it and jinx it? I was going to say it's one of those cars that kind of looks worse than it is. My heater's getting nice and warm straight away. It's a bit chilly here today. Bit of a vibration there, possibly a heat shield or a loose piece of trim. little bit of a clunk there over the bumps. So far then, I'm thinking this drives like it's done 144,000 miles. Pulls all right. They do drive well, don't they, VW products? The 2 litre diesel in particular. Yeah, we've got something loose there. You know what, that might actually be the bonnet stay that I haven't clipped in properly. It sounds like that, flapping around. There's another Yeti. Yeti! Nothing. Blank stares. I thought this might be like a Defender Club where you give the old wave. Sadly not. Right, it's only a 5-speed, not a 6. But it's going into all the gears nicely. The clutch feels good. But it pulls like a train. Well, what do I need to do to this then? It hasn't been serviced for 20,000 miles, so give it a full service, a tyre or two, try and get some arrow speeds from somewhere. I think they're the brand that Quick Fit or Halfords or one of those garages sell, I think. Sort out that rattle, give it an MOT because it's currently got one till September, so I'll put 12 months on it. New set of plates, paint the wing. There is quite a bit to do, isn't there? But there's a car here under all this. I'm convinced. This would be perfect to use as a dog car or a kid car or something, wouldn't it? Wouldn't really mind if you knocked it around. That Yeti in front that didn't wave back to me looks particularly tidy. They've got a dash cam and they're currently driving it at 26 miles an hour. That's what I want to buy, not one like this. I want one like that. I quite like this. I've had loads of these over the years. They always sell well and they're just quite characterful. Probably I shouldn't be doing this while I'm driving, should I really? It's pulling a little bit. I suspect that's because I've got low air. 5th, yeah. Right, well this is all quite good, isn't it? So I think what I'll do is take it to my mechanics, get them to give it a service, an MOT, and I'll catch up with you in, I don't know. In fact, then it's got to go for paint. This could be weeks. This might be weeks. Next time you see me, I might have slightly longer hair. Right guys, okay then, I will catch up with you as soon as I possibly can. Cheers. Well, we're back, and I hate to admit it, but I've got this one slightly wrong. I've overspent massively. Still, it looks the part now though, and it drives very well, and it's all sorted, so it should live to fight another day. After we last spoke, I dropped it off at my mechanics for a service and an MOT, and it needed quite a few £100 spending on it. I'll talk you through exactly what it required shortly. Then I picked it up from there and took it to my body shop. If you remember, the driver's side wing was all stoved in, it looks a bit of a mess, and the whole car was quite flat. And once again, Jimmy's done a great job. The wing looks good, the whole car looks like it's done half the miles. Don't forget, this has done 144,000 miles. When I picked it up from the body shop, Jimmy told me that the battery kept going flat. Every morning he'd have to go and jump start it before he could bring it into his unit. So I ran it back down to my mechanics, they did a test on the battery, and it was indeed buggered. So they ordered a new one, more expense. Then I picked it up from there and took it for a full valet because it was quite grubby, and it cleaned up really well. But the day after, when I went to go and collect it from the valeters, it broke down on me. The engine light came on and it was in limp mode. All the cars behind me must have thought I was a district nurse. I was doing about 20 miles an hour. I eventually limped down to my mechanics and it needed a new EGR valve. And I don't know if you've ever replaced one of those before, but they're not cheap. Then I fitted some fresh number plates, which immediately lifted it, and I've ordered a new Skoda badge for the boot lid, but it hasn't arrived yet, so bear with me on that. And I think that's about it. So we got there in the end, but it was a bit of a roller coaster. Ups and downs, mainly downs to be fair. But I suppose that's just the world of used cars. That's just how it is, unfortunately. You win some, you lose some. If you remember, I paid £2,200 for this car. 2 little ducks, 2-2, Desmond. And I thought it was a £4,000 or £5,000 car, which I'm convinced it still is. I've got this advertised now at £4,995, and I don't think that sounds too expensive for a 2013 high-spec Yeti. Granted, it has done 40,000 miles more than I'd have liked, but still, I don't think that's too bad. What isn't so great though is my potential profit. This is one of those cars that perhaps I shouldn't have got involved with. Anyway, like I say, you win some, you lose some. Let me find somewhere scenic to park up and I'll talk you through all my costs. And there are several pages to go through, so you might want to pop the kettle on. I'll tell you what, this drives really well, you know. I know I've said this before, but I do really like the Skoda Yeti. I think it's a massive mistake that Skoda stopped making it. Right, well, here we'll do then. Try and get a nice view for you all. Right. Knock off the old engine. Okay, so there are quite a few bills here. Let me put them in some sort of chronological order. Okay, so my first one was the MOT and service. So the MOT test fee was £40, oil filter was £8.99 and oil was £25. They also discovered that it needed 2 new rear tyres. They were, oh that's not bad, they were £55 each. Whilst it was up on the ramp, they discovered it needed brake discs and pads, both front and rear. I think I pointed that out in the walk around video, but that was months ago, so I can't quite remember. So it's had new brake discs and pads front and rear. It needed a bulb. Oh, hang on a minute, I haven't told you the costs. So front brake pads were £55. Front brake discs were £55. Front brake pads were £28. Rear brake discs were £48 and rear brake pads were £25. So nothing there to break the bank, but it does all add up. It needed a bulb, that was £6, and the labour was £120. So my first bill, which was a bit more than I expected, but I didn't think it was too bad, was £571. Then, let me get the order right. I took it to my paint shop, and it needed a repair to the front offside wing, and repaint, and buff, polish, and wax the whole vehicle. I also ordered a new towing eye cover because it was missing, and that was repainted. So my total cost there was £325. Then we've got the cost for the battery, because that was kaput. So that was £72 plus the VAT, so £86.40. Then it broke down. And we've got my biggest bill to date. It has a water-cooled EGR valve, antifreeze, an exhaust sleeve, and labour. It was quite labour intensive. So my total bill there was £884.22. In addition to that, what else have I spent? £70 on a valet and £15 on reg plates. Oh, and £22 on a badge. But I think that's it. Let me work this out before I forget. So £70 on a valet, £22 on a badge, £15 on some plates. Let me type this one quickly before I cry. 884.22 there. £86.40 there. £325 there. And £571.25 there. Is that it? So I've spent on this car almost my purchase price again. 1973, £1,973.87 plus the 2.2 that I paid for it. That takes my grand total to £4,173.87. Oh, I've just spotted in my side mirror there a V-Reg ML320. My dad had one like that. Blue, I think, with the grey bumpers. They look quite cool now, don't they? Anyway, so 4173. If I get my asking price, 4173, that will leave me a profit of, pre-VAT by the way, £782. £782. Not really worth the effort, is it? What was that? Oh, fuel. Yeah, I suppose not really worth the effort, but my VAT margin will be horrendous, but then some of those bills have VAT on which I can counterclaim against that, so I might come away with 600 quid, something like that, 500 or 600 quid. It's not to be sniffed at, I suppose, is it? And on the bright side, I've kept another car on the road for a bit longer, which does always make me feel better. Don't like to be wasteful. We shouldn't be wasteful, should we? Right, well, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time. Try and get off this pothole riddle road before I crack a spring.